Photography was already part of my life when I was a kid. I was like emotionally attached to photographs from memories. I was going to devote all my life to photography. I did a photographic album when I was like 6 years old.
Everyone, we're here with Enrique Méndez de Hoyos.
Yes, I'm a photographer and visual artist from Mexico City. I guess it's funny, but I grew up uh, with uh, with with staging photographs. She was like really fond of staging. You know, hey Enrique, you put yourself over there, and you Herman over there, and she was always playing that every time she had an opportunity. So and she took us to museums and galleries. So by the time I was like 20 years, 18 or 19 years old, before I got 20, uh, my brother, my older brother Herman, was studying film at the CCC, Centro de Capacitación Cinematográfica in Mexico, and I used to go with him, and to see the the filming, and I was pretty young, and then I started doing stills in some of the CCC movies, in Óperas Primas, and then I took some photography workshops. It's funny, but when one of the movies that I was doing as a still or working as a still photographer at CCC was the cinematographer was Rodrigo Prieto, which is he's pretty famous. So I pretty early in my life I got like involved learning how to make photographs. I learned the technical part, but I was already like somehow trained and affected by images. By the time I was like I was like half in my bachelor's degree. I started like learning more, and then years later I went through a Master of Arts program at New York University, and then that's when I started like doing art, um, and like learning more from the contemporary art point of view, uh, photography as well as video. When I got back from New York City, I started a studio here in Mexico called Ojo de Vidrio, like eyeglass, and we did work for advertising brands, but I was really interested in developing a career as a visual artist also. So basically, I had never stopped. I enjoy a lot. I was teaching at Tec de Monterrey. I taught a lot. I have worked as a teacher and educator for also many years, for like 20 or 25 years, and I have enjoyed teaching. I because I started as a photographer pretty early. I know the technical part. I was trained with big 4x5 cameras. I knew how to shift and balance. My biggest interest right now is visual art, right? Video art, but also photography. Photography, art photography. You know, those are like the two things I really love the most. I'm doing a work related to the forest, to the idea of ghost forest, to the idea of the city, getting bigger and bigger, and just like carving against the forest. I have a particular interest in in memory, in history, and in the history of photography. But also, right now I'm really interested in exploring the relationship between the human, the animal, the natural. Uh, that in relation also to virtual reality. How do we tend to substitute one for the other? What's this process that we are living or going through, where we don't get to experience uh, the natural as it is, but as another cultural product. It's amazing how like photography and cinema, or the moving image, have had such a big impact in our lives. I think uh, social movements and social cultural movements uh, create disruptive moments, against a specific government or situation. There's a lot of room for reality, for grounded reality. There's a lot of room, for human contact. There's a lot of room for or there should be, at least. I guess that's something that we cannot leave behind. We could we can get in touch by Zoom, or talk by Zoom, and somehow dematerialize ourselves. But then we have to come back and deal with what's around us. you know Deal, what's in front of you, and somehow help each other. That's really what's going to make the difference, you know from now on. And as filmmakers, and as visual artists, I guess our challenge is to make people care about each other, and uh, make people think. Not only, there's a lot of imagery who makes you laugh, or who makes you entertain you. So as visual artists, I guess we have a commitment to do something else. I think, you know uh the thing is that art like fuse itself with life, got melted completely with life. So art just mix with all things that are happening. And it tends uh to be invisible in that way. It's not so like categorical, or separate from what's happening. For instance, I guess there's a big great generation of women artists that are taking more and more notice everywhere in the world. being that visual women artists or painters or movie makers, directors, actors, and uh, I think that's a big movement right now. We're in the middle of that, right? And and I also think that we're in the middle of a big change. Sure. Uh, I think you have to stay like to stay aware of not losing integrity as an artist. You're gonna be building in the next few years like an identity as an artist, and it's important not to lose that. So it's a big challenge, to stay, to stay focused, to keep on the same line. But before that, to identify what are your real your propellers, your engines, as a cinematographer or as an artist.